Hello everyone, Attack Power here with the final Dukla Pass preview here with 18th SS Panzergrenadier. Let's see if the Axis finally get a redeeming division here that actually looks truly good on paper. If you guys enjoy this, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, consider checking out the Patreon and YouTube membership for cool bonuses and access to cool stuff. All right, diving in here. The 18th SS Freiwilligen Panzergrenadier Division, Horst Wessel, was created in January 1944 from a cadre of 1st SS Infantry Brigade. This particular formation was formed in 1941 by grouping concentration camp guards from the infamous SS Totenkampfverband. The brigade had been used since the start of the war. Since the start of the invasion, the Soviet Union secured rear-advancing troops. In this role, they took an active part in the Holocaust, leaving a trail of war crimes in their wake. There was some direct combat versus the Red Army in late 1941, and then again in September 1943 when the brigade was used to fill gaps left by a crumbling front line. So these are not nice guys. The division itself, the 18th SS, was named after Horst Wessel, an early SA volunteer of the Nazi Party killed in 1930 by German communists, considered by a martyr by many in the Nazi ranks. The party's national anthem, which is composed by him, was later also named after him. It's a fun little fact there. It was intended that the late war division was composed of SA volunteers, but despite the 1st SS Infantry Brigade cadre being German, the Freiwilligen Volunteers designation implied the formation was actually made up of foreigners. The rank and file were filled with Volksdeutschen from Hungary mostly, but also Romanians and Slovaks. Not all its soldiers were volunteers. Some were as young as 15 years old. Organized on a shoestring, the 18th SS fielded a lot of salvage and captured weapons, including small arm ones, which honestly that implies coolness, because we could have some really wacky infantry builds and stuff where they're just loaded up with all kinds of weird stuff. The division wasn't fully combat ready until November 1944, but regardless took part in several operations beforehand. Formed in Hungary, the 18th played an active role during the German takeover of Allied Hungary in March 1944. Hitler suspected, which was later found to be true, that Hungarians were secretly trying to make a separate peace with the Allies. After the coup, the division in training was used for rear guard security and occupation duties. The first combat-ready elements were sent to Croatia in June 1944, where they were used on anti-partisan missions. The Slovak National Uprising, so this is what we're actually looking at here. During the Slovak National Uprising, the 18th was the closest formal combat unit in the vicinity of the insurgents' captured territory. The rest of the Axis forces used in the quelling of this insurrection were ad hoc battle groups of coupled together security forces, training, police, Volkssturm, etc. However, the 18th SS wasn't quite ready for full-on fighting at the start of the uprising. Only an advanced Kampfgruppe around the reinforced SS Grenadier Regiment 40, led by Sturmbannführer Schäfer, could be mustered and sent into battle. Interesting. So this implies that A phase might be bad again. So another like phase lock division where you can only use certain things, certain places, etc., etc. Operating from Hungary, the main body of the 18th contented themselves with cordoning off the border to the south of the Slovak National Uprising area of operation. Schaefer's battle group operated inside Slovakia, attacking from the east. This particular formation was one of the few German units to not only keep the insurgents at bay, but also to advance into enemy-held territory. Over the course of the uprising, Kampfgruppe Schaefer's composition fluctuated before finally amalgamating back into the 18th SS. It would take until November 1944 for 18th SS to fight as a whole unit when it was thrown into action against the Red Army south of Budapest, pushed back into Silesia and Bohemia. The remnants of the division surrendered in western Czechoslovakia at the war's end. Okay, so that's our usual historic wrap-up. Some fun little facts there. All right, but 18th SS back in the Dukla Pass. During the battle surrounding the Slovak National Uprising, to reflect the 18th SS Freiwilligen's battlefield experience, the division will be phase-locked, of course. There it is again, much like Slovak National Uprising, although this division seems really good. Although the division drew first blood with Kampfgruppe Schäfer, more troops were sent in as reinforcements, making the best use of divisional assets over all three phases. Some isolated units were also attached to the division, which will become available in different combat phases. Okay, so Phase A, elements of Korok 531, tasked with the security of the 1st Panzer Army's rear security, theoretically in command over all of 18th SS's units. It was too weak to act alone. All its attempts to engage the enemy were met with failure. Thus, it operated more in a support role for smaller combat groups, in this case with captured Soviet artillery and some tanks, including obsolete Czechoslovakian ones. I mean, truthfully, again, as we've discovered recently, all light armor is good, so like cheap, crappy tanks tend to actually overperform significantly, especially like random Czechoslovakian ones and stuff. So this is actually a very good thing. They call them obsolete, but like in terms of supporting your infantry and stuff in game, phenomenal. So that's actually a good thing. Detachments of the Sturm Regiment Panzer AOK 1. This already met this reinforced regiment with the 208th Infantry Division. This unit was one of the reinforcing ones sent to help with the defense near Krosno. The availability in only A phase represents these units being assigned to 18th SS first before being pulled out and reinforced 208. Okay, interesting. I do like how they're webbing these different divisions together, where like one battle group goes to another area and different sections of the division are moving out. That is neat. Elements of the Sturm Brigade called Frankreich. With Hitler holding a grudge against France since World War I, he had long vetoed the raising of French SS units, considering its people bastardized by their colonies. When the Third Reich's leader finally gave his approval to Himmler and tapping into Europeans' country considerable population, he imposed higher physical and political recruitment standards. This is why few French volunteers were accepted in the SS, were, according to their instructors, Olympic-level athletes and hardcore Nazis. Okay. Only a reinforced battalion was ready and attached to Kampfgruppe Schäfer. Later, the French SS Brigade would be used to form part of the future 33rd Waffen Grenadier Division der Charlemagne, etc., etc. And its survivors will form the last defenders of Hitler's bunker in Berlin. Wow. Okay. I mean, that's dedication. I gotta say. This is the same officer who was one of the only two officers left standing after the battalion's tenure with Kampfgruppe Schäfer. Numbering only a handful, they will only be available in A phase again. Lastly, some detachments from Hlinka Guard, a parliamentary arm of Slovakian fascist regime, and the SS something something. Oh, wow, okay. Oh, there's a lot. Then on B phase, we have Kampfgruppe Wildner, a regimental-sized battle group from 14th Waffen Grenadier Division. Also fought alongside 18th SS. Later in the battle, Galicia region, located in modern-day southern Poland and western Ukraine, had been a part of the Austrian Empire until 1918. It failed to gain a recognition as an independent Ukrainian state in the interwar period before being made in the first part of Poland, then annexed by the Soviets in 1939, only to be occupied again by the Germans in 1941. Bad day. Passed from one power to the next, the Galatians had developed a strong national consciousness. Himmler played on this by recruiting a division to fight the threat of the returning of communist rule. Composed mostly of Ukrainian-speaking Galician volunteers, Himmler refused to refer to them as Ukrainians, as to not encourage the idea of independence, and a handful of Slovaks. Okay. The first of the 18th SS heavier guns and weapons become available. Oh, so this is a concerning little phrase here. So heavier guns and weapons become available in B phase. In other words, you're going to be stuck with garbage again in A phase. So it's going to be another one of the many Axis divisions where you just don't have access to tanks in A phase. Kampfgruppe von Tettau, 2nd Panzer even, just being two examples that hop to mind right away, where you are just up the creek without a paddle in A phase. It's so rough. It's so, and you know me, I love a long game, but man, it's rough. The division made use of plenty of Czechoslovakian artillery. Czechoslovakian artillery is pretty good, like really good actually. The German anti-partisan commando called the SF Jagdensatz Sloake. Okay, I mean this might be really good. C phase, lastly, Kampfgruppe Wittenmeier, meaning more elements of the nearby 14th Waffen Grenadier Division SS. Okay. Oh, finally. The 18th SS Freiwilligen is a verifiable Tower of Babel of SS troops, including German, Hungarian, French, Slovak, Ukrainian, SS, and militia under one roof. New units are in italic, bro. Okay. Units with the HW suffix represent those specific to 18th SS, and although German will have Hungarian acknowledgements. Okay. All right, recon, an average category with the standard complement of trash, fine, trash, and SPW 222, not trash, as well as SPW 231. Okay, so that's fantastic. The new spare troop, our four-man squad of MG40, Car 98K. That's just a normal rifle, right? MG26, yeah. Okay, so nothing exciting there. SS Erzatz spare troop are a truck-borne disarmed 10-man squad. 2 ZK-383s. These are really good. These are 150 meter submachine guns. Car 98 and 2 MG42s and a Panzerfaust. Wow. Oh, I don't care that they're disheartened. That's a squad right there. You take that. Ah! Come back. No. Oh, I did this before. So annoying. All right, anyway. Yes to that. A few A-only Panzer IIs. Wow. Actually, this recon tab seems it looks cracked, honestly. You take the Aufklärer in SPW 222s, you take a card of 231s, then you take this 10-man disheartened squad, and then the Panzer 2s, if you can fit 4 cards in, that's pretty sick. Like, if this is a nice, like, average category, so 5 or 6, if there are 6 slots, which would be really nice, you throw those 4 in, feels really good. Actually feels excellent. Infantry, the infantry category is excellent. Oh, let's see if that's true. Excellent would mean that you get like a full 10 slots or something, 9-10 slots. With a host of varied troops available, the core of the 18th is made up of Hungarian SS. The new Panzer Grenadier, HW here, 11-man squad, 2 ZK 383s, 7 VZ-24 rifles, and 2 MG-42s in pair. Wow, that's fantastic. That's a 1-man chunkier than a normal Panzergren squad. You get way better submachine guns. Not that you want to use those very often, but like the fact is they're there and it's going to happen. And MG-42s in a Panzerfaust, like, wow, that's an excellent unit. Panzer Grenadier HW MG-30, 11-man squad with the same build, but with the ZB-30 and bazookas. Oh, that is spicy. Only available from B phase. That's fine. You take these in A phase. You take these in B phase. And the thing is, the ZB-30s are automatic rifles. So, like, again, these aren't CQC infantry, but, like, think of them. I'm now thinking of them like Rossiori in 5th Cav and stuff, where, like, no, they're not CQC, but yes, they're definitely way better than other rifle units walking into the woods. So, and then bazookas, like, okay, we thinking like Panzerlehr now, you know, like you think of division that's really good because all its units have some sort of, you know, or I don't know, all the Western Allied divisions. I mean, that's pretty awesome. Panzer Grenadier 4, HW 4-man squad, whatever. Pioneer, okay, so a 9-man squad with 9 rifles, 2 ZB-30s. Wait, that math does not work out. And wow, okay, I mean, this is a really good squad, actually. Double MG. Okay, the math works out to 11? Not sure. I'm assuming it's 11 since all these others are 11. Like, literally every other squad here is 11. So I'm going to assume this is 11. So we have 9 to the really good AT rifle and then explosives. This is a great unit. Sturm Pioneers, an 11-man squad with 4 ZK 383s. That's really good. 4 rifles, 2 ZB-30s, and Flammenwerfer. That is a really solid squad, too. I mean, the 4 submachine guns is basically the same as a Sturm Pioneer squad, but this is a better submachine gun, by the way. You get 4 rifles for free, 2 automatic rifles, like LMGs. Wow. Pioneer Fierce Standard. Wow, this is really good. Like, that is really good. You can also find Grenadier GRB, already featured in 208. These represent soldiers. Okay. I forget what these have. I think they're just a Grenadier squad that have the good AT rifle, which is great. Again, countering light armor is so huge right now that these units all walk around with bazookas and an actual good AT rifle is like a lot. All right, so collaborationist Slovaks can also be found. They will feature the Heimat Slovake, which is a local 11-man strong militia. They are equipped with the submachine gun, 9 rifles, and 1 LMG. Okay, that I mean, if they're like a 20-man unit, 20-point unit, then that's fine, not great. The POHG, standing for something I'm not going to try to say. Emergency Guard, Guard Emergency Division. There we go. This is an 8-man security squad armed with 2 MP-28s, 6 rifles, and 1 LMG. It's got a security trait, which, okay. You're probably not taking these. These are so good. I'm not sure why you're taking this stuff. I mean, filler. Maybe this unit is a filler. This one I don't really see happening. French SS troops from this brigade were hardcore Nazi to the bone and peak physical shape. They all come from the fanatical trait, but can only be taken at basic veterancy or veterancy 1, having no prior combat experience. Veterancy 1 is fine. Like, I'm not taking a lot of infantry at veterancy 2. Like, not often. Unless they come locked that way, or they're one of those, like, really high vet units that's just, like, the loss is, like, only 1 squad to go to 2 vet. You know, you're usually doing 1 anyway. All units are only available in A, okay? So we have the French Grenadier, 9-man squad with, I'm sorry, what? 1 MP-40, 5 rifles, 3 MG-42s, and a Panzerfaust? Yeah, they do have a huge ratio of MG-42s per person. Okay. I mean, yes. The problem is if all this stuff is A phase locked, that really sucks. Although these do not... This one's actually locked to B phase. This one has no locking, so maybe you're taking these Grenadiers in A phase instead of leaving these for, like, C phase. I mean, these look like your anytime units, kind of. And these are your more phase lock stuff. Grenadier Fear, whatever. Panzerjäger. Okay. The French SS battalion arrived in Slovakia with a battery of Pak-40s, which were commandeered by Schaeffer's men, leaving the French army to fight enemy tanks with handheld weapons. This unit is thus organized as a 10-man squad with 7 rifles, an MG-42, Molotov cocktails, and a Panzerfaust. Maybe. The thing is, it's got Molotov cocktails, and you think, okay, CQC, let's do it. But, like, everything else about the squad is not CQC at all. And those units, like, historically have been really bad. Think, Dunkirken. Festung Dunkirken has the that flamer unit that's basically just rifles and a flamethrower, and it's really not like it's not good. Like, it's actually a really bad squad. So this is not as exciting as it might first appear. This unit right here, yes, looks great. It's like the Kriegsmarine unit in Toulon with the triple MG42. From B onwards, reinforcements from the 14th can deploy. Okay, so what do we got here? Ukrainian Grenadier, 9-man, like, so, okay, or these are actually not even average, they're bad. They have DP-28, so it's a bad Grenadier squad. A actually kind of better Fear, and then, okay, a Sapri, essentially. Actually, slightly better than Sapri. No, I think that's the same. Oh, it doesn't, nope, it doesn't have an LMG, which, honestly, I don't really mind. So, yeah, and then also from B-Phase, the SS Jagdverband, are in these SS Special Forces commandos specialized in hunting and destroying parts and equipped mostly with SMGs and sniper rifles, explosives, and smoke grenades. Wow. And their commando shock trays come. Wow. Okay. I mean, this. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I honestly think you take mostly these guys. You help out with, like, maybe this one for more CQC, and then, like, maybe one of, like, this thing, and then, like, maybe one of these to fill out so you have, like, a cheap unit, because I have a feeling these are 30. 30 points, 30 points, 30 points probably, or 25. Probably 30. Probably another 25, 30-point unit here. So these are all expensive infantry. These are probably 20-point infantry. Like, they're probably trashed. This is not 20 points. This is probably 30. This is probably 30-point units. These are definitely 25, I would hope. And again, these are all guesses. I really have no idea. I'm just taking stabs here. 20 points, yes. 20 points, 20, maybe 25 for this. Probably 20, though. Maybe you get away with a 20-point Pioneer unit here. That would be really good. So it's expensive. It is expensive. Like, these probably aren't cheap infantry, but they are really good. Continue on. Tanks, average category, but not too expensive. With only, all right. For the ranks, a single card of A phase only Panzer 4G. You're taking this. The Panzer 3 is terrible, but as a leader, fine. Representing the motley group. An A and B phase division can also count on the Panzer 35T. You absolutely take this, yes. New Germany not in game. These were reported in theater, but of dubious origin, most likely fielded by Cork 531. And in B phase, only a single card of Stug 3s. So, yeah, that's not great. You have one card of Panzer 4s, one card of Stug 3s, but you get the Panzer 35T, which is pretty great. It's definitely not the worst tank tab in the game. Like, let's put it that way. Like, let's be real about this. There's a lot of really successful divisions that actually only have, like, a very small contingent of medium tanks. Again, think the Festungs in general, that have been very good at certain times. And there's plenty of divisions that only have Stugs, 3 cards of Stugs or something. Here you get 2 cards. It's not ideal, but, you get 8 Stug 3s, you get 4 Panzer 4Gs or something, 4 or 5. You get like 8 of these Panzer 35Ts, and you get the light armor from the recon tab. And honestly, the light armor is probably the more important thing. Let's see how the AT tab will determine, like, if this is functionally, like, works or not. Support tab, a good category, composed of the standard Opel Blitz munition truck. Where did they put that first? Commanders are featured. Whatever, you take the commandant if you're taking a leader. Fire support, IG-18, IG-33. Oh, that's nice. As well as MG-42s, plus a full card of Panzer 4s. Wow, no, right here's another tank. Oh my, that's really nice. Unidentified Feldgendarmerie unit was reported involved in the fighting, operating armored cars. We represent these as the SS. Okay, so SS Feldgendarmerie and some SPW ADG. Okay, these are actually, I think, pretty good. Aren't these in Unternehmen and Russelsprung? And aren't they like aren't they auto guns? Whatever they're. I'm having a moment. Auto cannons. That would be really good. And B phase onwards, you get a heavy machine gun. Whatever. That's whatever. This is really good. I mean, this seems really good. You get 2 KHE. You get a really good support tank. You get everything. Okay, this division's shaping up. AT average with amounting to 3 full cards of Pak 40s. Okay, Pack 36, Pack 38, FK 288, all with A phase. I mean, it's probably, you're only bringing these in A phase usually anyway. So you double A phase these, maybe a card of Pack 40s and B phase card of Pack 40. And then, yeah, fewer number Panzerschreck, whatever. You're only taking one card. That's great. I mean, this is really solid. I mean, it's nothing incredible, but like it's got light AT and it does what you want it to. Pack 36 is nice inclusion. A8, rather mediocre. Kampfgruppe Schaefer could initially rely on the stupid 20 mil. Oh, it's the only AA and A phase. Oh, God, why do they keep doing this? From B phase onward, you get a single card of Flak 43, and that's okay. No, this is great, actually. This is fine. Okay, so B phase, you have real AA. So you survive A phase, B phase, you bring in like really good AA, and you're good to go. Okay. Already pretty good with standard Beobachter and Battlefier. Divisional guns are crap, good. So crap mortar. Well, it's not crap. It's just a mortar, a really crap arty gun. Solid, the SK-18. We all know it's great. Cork, but it's only all available from A phase. Okay, the Boita units. This is the standard 122. This is the big, I think, Russian 152. Yeah, the little R means it's Russian. The big Russian 152. The division reinforces its own arty with Czechoslovakian. Okay, oh, this is phenomenal. That's really good. I don't know this one off the top of my head, but if it's got a T, that means Czechoslovakian is probably really good. The latter is a new Hubra something 100. Okay. We're doing it. This arty tab seems pretty great. You take this, if it's good, and maybe you take one of these or something. No radio mortar, though. Something to be aware of. No radio mortar. Air average with recon includes... Okay, so air average with recon includes unarmed Focke-Wulf 58C and recon bomber. Ooh, recon bomber there. Focke-Wulf 189A2. That's nice. Various close air support available in the Focke-Wulf 190 F8 and JU-87D. These are great. These are solid. HS-129 for tank busters plus BF-109 G6 and Focke-Wulf 190 A8. Wow. No, that's a great air tab. Honestly, I mean, air tabs are the least important thing to me, but that's really solid. Yeah, it's a strong and versatile infantry division backed by some potent supporting arms. The battle group is at ease in defensive role or attacking across rugged terrain, but fares less in open ground. Yeah, so this division, definitely the strongest on paper of the Axis divisions. No question. This one by far seems like the strongest Axis division we have available to us from this DLC. Now, this is definitely not a take on every map. By no means. I would put this in line. This feels something like... It makes me think of... Is this... No, okay, sorry. For a second, I thought the screen was out of center this whole time, and I was going to, like, freak out. Anyway, this kind of reminds me of something like... I'm trying to think of the best... Like 9th SS, 9th Panzer, it's kind of giving me vibes. Not really enough tanks for that, but in terms of a lot of light armor and things. Maybe like Kampfgruppe Tatra. Maybe a little bit Tatra, but they have a lot more 2K stuff to work with. So maybe not really them. I'm not sure what this reminds me the most of, but honestly, the division seems really solid to me. Definitely a mid-range division, though. Like maybe 20th Panzer, honestly, a little bit 20th Panzer vibes, but a way better infantry division, which is why I lean towards 9th Panzer in terms of like what it's similar to. You don't have the 2K. You have no unicorn 2K units though. Like you're not working like maybe honestly Festoon Dunkerchen kind of giving me those vibes a little bit. Small tank tab, but it doesn't have like crazy AA or anything like that. So yeah, I mean this division, it feels good to me. I like it. I like it a lot. This is definitely a lot better vibe than the other Axis divisions have given overall. I mean, there's really no significant weakness here. A phase air support could be bad, but you do have some solid fighters. Not solid. You have some really good fighters here that can potentially fill in that weakness. And then B phase, you have good AA, so that problem can be pretty quickly solved. Phenomenal artillery, most likely. Like I said, air is solid. AT is fine. You have no 2K, though. It's important to note there's no 2K AT. So, if you're on an open map, like a Slutsk, if you're on a Slutsk, you're going to get bodied out. Or a Strono or something like that. You're going to have problems on those maps. But on most of the most popular maps, you honestly should be in really good shape. Light on tanks. You have a good force here to work with, but not a ton. Playing a super long game is going to be hard. This is probably close. I mean, the artillery makes you want to be balanced, but the fact of the matter is this really thin tank tab is probably going to make it hard. Support tab looks great, and recon tab looks really good too, which gives you a lot of pushing power in A phase, which is why I'm thinking this is probably a more aggressive Maverick sort of division. But if you guys enjoyed this, smash that like button, subscribe, and check out the Patreon and YouTube membership. Thanks a bunch, everybody, and have a fantastic day.